Today on Studio G, we will see what Facebook's founder has to say about recent privacy issues, the Weed Forum at UNLV, and construction updates on the project in front of the Maryland Parkway parking garage.
The start of spring is this week, so we need to be conscious of the excessive pollen in the air.
And we're sitting down with a UNLV student who transforms the things around her into art. Don't go anywhere. Studio G starts right now.
Good afternoon and welcome to Studio G. I'm Tessa Cardwell.
And I'm Diana Zainadine. This week, Facebook has been taken to the fire by critics and regulators after reports that the data science firm Cambridge Analytica obtained the data of 50 million Facebook users. After this mishap, officials started to wonder if Russian operatives got their hands on data, or any other group. Until yesterday, Mark Zuckerberg stayed silent.
So this was a major breach of trust, and I'm really sorry that this happened. We have a basic responsibility to protect people's data, and if we can't do that, then we don't deserve to have the opportunity to serve people. So our responsibility now is to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And there are a few basic things that I think we need to do to ensure that. One is making sure that developers like Alexander Kogan, who got access to a lot of information and then improperly used it, just don't get access to as much information going forward. So we are doing a set of things to restrict the amount of access that developers can get going forward. But the other is we need to make sure that there aren't any other Cambridge Analyticas out there, right, or folks who have improperly accessed data. So we're going to go now and investigate every app that has access to a large amount of information from before we lock down our platform. And if we detect any suspicious activity, we're going to do a full forensic audit.
Zuckerberg says he is even willing to go in front of Congress with the issue and the company doubling its security team to 20,000 people by the end of the year. Facebook has lost 8% of its week value.
The beginning of spring brought the East Coast less flowers and more snow. The Noreaster storm is still hitting hard as most cities on the East had a snow day yesterday. Officials tell Americans to stay aware and safe as another wave of the storm hits.
For snow lovers in D.C., it's better late than never. After a relatively tame winter with very little snow in the nation's capital, the first full day of spring brings with it several inches of accumulation. Much of the federal government was shut down, and all public events at the White House were canceled. But it's not just D.C. The massive storm triggering warnings and watches from as far west as Kentucky and West Virginia all the way to Massachusetts, blanketing parts of Pennsylvania as crews worked overtime to make sure roads were treated.
Just be safe. This is a big snowstorm. I know yesterday was the beginning of spring, and it shouldn't happen, but it is.
Further northeast, residents are bracing for the fourth nor'easter in less than 3 weeks. At JFK Airport in New York, travelers were forced to watch their planes sit and wait as flight delays piled up.
It is a heavy, wet snow, which is a problem. It's a heavy, wet snow combined with high wind gusts. And that is the combination of a nor'easter that creates problems.
Some of the highest snow totals could fall in New York and New Jersey, where officials say they want residents to remain vigilant.
I want to urge everyone, try and get home early, try and stay off the roads.
More reminders to take it slow for snow-weary residents who hope this latest storm is finally winter's last gasp. In Washington, I'm Omar Jimenez.
Yesterday was not just the first day of spring, but also when gas prices were expected to rise. According to a survey from GasBuddy.com, the average price of a gallon of gas in the valley has increased almost 6 cents in the past week. bringing the average per gallon to $2.82. The national average has increased only about 3% in this past week at $2.54 a gallon. This brings us 30 cents above the national average. GasBuddy.com says that Las Vegas is paying about 21 cents more a gallon than we were at this time last year. If the prices continue to go up, we could easily surpass the $3 mark very soon.
Construction on the second phase of the University Gateway complex is officially underway. The first phase was completed in 2017 with the construction of UNLV's Gateway parking garage, as well as a $10,000 square foot home for UNLV police services. Now, Bentar Development is working on a new project. According to the Review Journal, the adjunct building is expected to house several retail stores, as well as a student living complex on the upper floors. Stephanie Holbert, a manager for Bentar Development, says there's no partnership with UNLV on the project, but that the company has worked on several developments for the university in the past. UNLV officials say they are hoping the new upgrades will help change UNLV's reputation as a commuter school and make the surrounding areas more engaged with the UNLV community.
It is a mixed-use building, 7 stories with a pool on the roof. Its first floor is restaurant retail. The next 2 floors are supposed to be dedicated towards like UNLV graduate program. And then there's private living on the following floors 4 through 7. And then those tenants will have access to the roof deck, which will be the pool, maybe spa.
Construction for the final phase of University Gateway is projected to finish as early as March of 2019.
The Nevada Independent is hosting a forum next week on the state of marijuana in Nevada. A panel of experts will be featured at the forum that will answer questions about Nevada's marijuana industry, what has recreational legalization meant so far for Nevada, what remains to be done with state and local policy guidelines and rules, and what problems are dispensary owners and cultivators experiencing. The forum will take place in the Student Union Ballroom on March 26th from 5 to 8:30 p.m. If you want to participate, register online at nvindy.com/events.
It's time to bring out the box of tissues. This week kicks off the first day of spring, and that means the sneezing will start, if it hasn't already. Experts say that rising temperatures stemming from climate change and more carbon dioxide in the air are causing pollen plants to bloom earlier and last longer, causing allergy season to have an extended stay. Allergists suggest starting to take allergy medicine now rather than once the season is underway, because your allergies will already be severe.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the start of the Sweet 16 and how UNLV gets money from Reno.
And Alexis Ferraro has our weather update. Don't go anywhere. Studio G will be right back.
Oh, the station's great. You make friends, you gain skills, you learn how to do all this stuff with audio. It's a fantastic thing.
I can grow with everyone, and everybody supports me as well as I can support them.
I think it's great. I think it's a blessing to have this kind of equipment from the Green Spun family as well as the state of Nevada.
And it's really informative to see, how a radio show really works.
Now that I do it, I have friends, I have people that want to hang out, and I get to play music a lot.
It's very good too, because we have all the top of the line equipment to work with and students here that can help you out, so it's a very, very good way to get involved in the radio.
As far as Studio G, at first it looks overwhelming, and at first it looks like it's a lot of work, but I'll tell you what, it's the most beneficial class I've had at UNLV to date, without a doubt. You get to not only develop stories and work on your interviewing skills, your editing skills, and your shooting skills from a camera perspective, you get to work on all the equipment that's in the studio. So you're working on audio, you're working on directing, tech directing, you get to produce your own show. You can take a 30-minute newscast and make it your own. And that's really cool about Studio G. Like I said, a lot of it seems overwhelming at first, but it is by far the best class I've taken at UNLV since I've been here.
I'm Good afternoon, Rebels. Let's see what the rest of the weekend is looking headed into spring break. Right now, it is 63 degrees. There's scattered showers. The high is 70 and the low is 52. And for our picture of the day, we have the New York City Subway. They tweeted on their Twitter, "We're experiencing minor weather-related services changes this morning. Some express lines are making local stops and customers may experience slight delays." This comes from Winter Storm Toby. There's plenty of snow all over the East Coast. So now on to our weekly forecast. Like I said, right now, scattered showers throughout the valley. The high is 70 and the low is 52. For Friday, going into spring break, we are sunny. We have 71 and a low of 50 degrees. For the rest of the weekend, it's also sunny and windy, and we have about 60s throughout the rest of the weekend. Okay, and right now into the valley, it's kind of around the same. We're North Las Vegas, Nellis, we're at 64, 63 degrees. Henderson, we're at 68. Boulder City, 68 as well. And then on our side of the other side of the valley, we're at 59 degrees in Summerlin, 59 in Centennial. Southern Highlands, we're at 64 degrees. Okay, so this morning at UNLV, as you can see, there's scattered showers, little drizzle here and there. There's a 60% chance of rain. The wind is calm, but the humidity is extreme. We're at 73%, so your hair is going to be a little bit frizzy today. And then if you are studying for any midterms, whether it's after spring break or right now, maybe today or tomorrow, it's partly cloudy tonight. The wind is at 11 miles per hour. It's just going to be cloudy tonight, and then once again the humidity is also very high at 61%. Okay, so now on to our national forecast. On the west coast over here, as you can tell, there's rain everywhere. It's raining today, but like I said, it's going to get a little bit sunny, so it'll be a little bit brighter. We're at 59 in San Francisco, and rain in Los Angeles, 64, and then on the East Coast, it's looking a little bit brighter because there's no more snow. The snow's still there, but it's going to be sunny. Just a little bit of clouds in New York City, Washington, D.C. So that's all we have for the weather. Now back to the anchor desk.
Thanks, Alexis. Tonight is the start of NCAA's March Madness's Sweet 16. Sweet 16 is the top 16 college basketball teams left in the running to become NCAA champions. Although they are our rivals, Reno is still in the mix. We know UNR is our rival, but if you did not know, everything they win, so does UNLV. UNLV racks up $600,000 thanks to the Wolfpack, and will get more if they continue to advance. This is true because Mountain West teams get a share depending on how many of its teams play in the tournament.
Seconds to go, and it's Broom. He's got great speed. Broom dribbled it off his knee. 4 seconds to go. Broom, his pass deflected. Ball is loose, and that is it. Nevada pulls off a miracle.
UNLV racks up $600,000 thanks to the Wolfpack, and will get more if they continue to advance. This is true because Mountain West teams get a share depending on how many of its teams play in the tournament. Thanks, UNR. As the tournament heats up, how are you guys thinking of brackets? Be sure to keep up tonight. Tessa, do you think people are going to bandwagon with Reno now?
I definitely think people are going to bandwagon, especially the people who don't know much about sports and the people who they bandwagon for the sports team that's doing the best, especially in March Madness, and I do. Do you?
I agree, definitely.
Another Mountain West sports update. UNLV's baseball is doing well in conference games this season. They were on a 7th winning streak as of earlier this week. They only lost by 3 points, but they are back on the field this Friday and Saturday playing San Diego State. Games are free for students. Go out and support. We are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will sit down with Sydney Land to talk about her artwork.
I didn't know what I was getting into. I thought it was just going to be fun, just me in a room playing music. And it's blossomed into something beyond what I imagined. Like, people just love it. There's like, a lot of people are eager and excited to be a part of UNLV radio. A lot of people didn't even know UNLV had a radio station, so I'm glad to be bringing that awareness to the Vegas community.
It feels great. You know, it's a great accomplishment because it starts as something that nobody knows about, and you get to build it from the ground up. So it builds your work ethic. It also gives you a sense of accomplishment when it's like, man, we made it. We did something. We made something that nobody else has made. So
it's great to be part of the student community and having to bring something to the student body with music, which is one of my passions.
I feel like it's giving me a voice, and not just for me, but for people who just have something they are passionate about. And I just want to, keep that conversation going and let other people see what we're talking about here.
It's amazing to have an opportunity to play whatever it is that you want to play. It's also a great way to connect and meet with new artists, break people, just music lovers in general.
What's up, it's your girl Scribe Cash. This is
the Prince Madison. This is the Takeover.
Played by the video game's live orchestra.
Yeah, on Twitter, @MilesLowMusic and
Welcome back to Studio G. I'm Alexis Farrow. I'm here with Sydney Land, an artist here at UNLV. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So let's just jump right into it. How long have you been painting?
I've been painting since I've been drawing since I was 6, but then I stopped because I get bored easily. And then I picked it back up because I had a friend who painted, and I was like, oh, I used to draw. And she was like, oh, you should try painting. So then I drew something on a canvas, and then I ended up painting it, and then I just stuck with it after that. So about 5 months.
Oh, so it's pretty recent. Oh, that's very cool. What's your major? Are you...
Communications.
Okay, and so this is just a hobby? Oh, very cool. What painting do you, what painting is your favorite that you've ever drawn so far? Is it one of these right here?
Out of these three, I think this one's my favorite, just because it's pixelated. But I have an art Instagram where I have my Christmas presents that I gave to people, and I think my favorite was one I gave to one of my sisters.
Oh, that is so cool. So you're giving them as gifts? So what is the story of this one? It's really cool. Oh my gosh.
Well, my little sister plays Minecraft, so I was looking at it, I was like, wow, like, it's cool how, like, the ground is in so many different color browns, and I was like, I'm going to draw, like, a man and make it look like that, and then when people come over, they're like, is that Chance the Rapper? And it kind of looks like him, so I might put a 3 on there, I'm not sure.
It is really cool. I like how it's pixelated. It really does look like it's on a computer screen. What about these two down here?
The yoga one is for my best friend's mom because she has a Reiki studio, and she, like, her studio is so beautiful, so I know that that will, like, pop out and, like, just add to it. And then that one is for my oldest sister. Her boyfriend actually gave me a painting that had just a picture of that girl, but then I added the steps and the leaves and then the background.
Who is this girl? Is this your sister?
It's supposed to be.
Supposed to be?
She doesn't know I have it.
Oh,
Like,
she doesn't know. Is it for a birthday gift? What did you say it was for?
Yeah, it's for her birthday.
That is very cool. How long does it take for each of these paintings?
Honestly, this one took about 2 days, that one took about 3 days, and this one I've had it for like a month.
Oh my gosh, but it takes a while? That's crazy. I'm not very artistic at all. Do you have any advice for any aspiring painters that are new to painting, like you?
Don't compare yourself to other people's paintings because clearly they've been doing it longer than you have. So if your first painting looks like chicken scratch or you don't like how it looks, like, who cares? Because as long as it makes you feel good, if you're passing, it's like a positive pastime instead of watching TV and stuff. So
yeah, I like that a lot. It's crazy. It doesn't look like you've only been painting for 5 months. It looks like you've been painting for years. They're very detailed and
thank you.
They're amazing. So what's your Instagram so people can find you, they can buy?
My nickname, like, people call me Squid because my name is Sid, so it's Squid Branded.
Okay.
And that's what it is.
Well, that's great. So Squid Brandon, you can look at her. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. These are amazing paintings. Like I said, it looks like you've been painting for years.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. If you want to take a look at her paintings or put in a request for her painting, visit her Instagram. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, we talk about another puppy plane mishap, plus a local high school that received threats.
You don't get to do an internship, you have to do an internship. It's one of the requirements for a journalism major is you have to do an internship before you can graduate.
Definitely having an internship as a requirement really helps push yourself out there and to just remind you that your graduation is coming up soon. You're going to have to need some work experience in your career. So it's really good to put yourself out there early on, and they tend to help students a lot more. So when you do a student internship, it really helps out a lot.
Yesterday at Foothill High School in Henderson, there was an increase in the police presence. School officials sent a letter to parents stating that the school had received a threat. The threat was written on a table at a nearby park on March 12th. About 45% of the school did not show up yesterday, but students that were there say they feel better with the strong police presence. There was a total of 5 police cars and even a helicopter. School threats are becoming more of an issue at local schools, and parents and students are suggested to ask questions and call the school if they have concerns.
One puppy takes a cross-country trip and ends up in Las Vegas. Salt Lake City. This 8-week-old puppy has seen them all. Well, at least the airports. Delta says there was a mix-up and a man actually received the wrong puppy when he arrived at the airport. Sunday morning, the puppy was flown to Minneapolis, but then Delta said misrouted the puppy to Las Vegas. It was then put on a plane to Salt Lake City, finally making it to Boise on Sunday night. Delta said the puppy was given food and water and let out of its crate periodically throughout the journey. The airline is still investigating.
They say don't cry over spilled milk. Does the same saying go for a broken TV? UNLV students of the game room can give you that answer.
TV in the game room broke, so we came here because this is the only other place with TV.
No TV? No problem. UNLV students moved their games right into Tonopah's lobby. It may not look like it, but these games have not only brought them tons of fun, but also tons of friendships.
Honestly, before I met these group of people, I wouldn't know what I'd be doing right now. I'd probably just be staying in my dorm, watching YouTube.
Being in the game room brought a lot of friendships. We all played similar games, and we're always teaching each other how to get better at certain games.
For some, like Victoria, the game room brought her very first friends here at UNLV.
When I first came to UNLV, I didn't really have friends, but when I went to the game room, that's where I made all my friends.
Video games bring Wi-Fi, new hotspot connections, entertainment, and for the most part, friendships. Games bring people together for one common goal. Whether they're hooked up to a TV or a laptop, gamers come up with innovative ways to stay connected with not only their games, but also with each other. If you ever find the game room TV is down, you'll be sure to find these eager gamers filling the lobby of the dorms. For Studio G, I'm Drea Austin.
The game room is on the first floor of the Student Union if you would like to play games and want to make some new friends. Students are even welcome to join the fun at Tonopah at the TVs when the TVs are down.
With spring break underway, many students are looking for the best place to let loose and take a break from their studies. USA Today teamed up with Expedia and listed the best spring break destination in U.S. Las Vegas, made top 25 of that. Behind New York, LA, and Miami, Las Vegas falls fourth. What are you doing for spring break?
I'm so excited. I'm going to New York for a wedding, so I need a break. I'm excited.
Not only have I never been to New York, but I've only been in one wedding in my life, which is pretty depressing.
What are you up to?
My mom is actually coming to Las Vegas. She's from Colorado, and we
Okay.
are front row for the Magic Mike show.
Nice.
I know.
That
I'm
sounds
excited.
fun.
She's probably more excited than I am. What was your favorite spring break that you've ever taken?
I would say probably my senior year of high school. It was just so much fun. I did something like every night. I went to California, so it was nice. It's going to be a little different now that I'm going to New York since it's going to be really cold. And when you think of spring break, you think of like hot and sunny and things like that. But
I've actually never done anything that cool for spring break. But that wraps up our show today and Rebels. Unfortunately, we will be on spring break next week, so we won't be airing.
But don't worry though, we will be back the following week with more news. Have a fun and safe spring break, Rebels. Turn up! Yay!